A federal agency responsible for regulating products like appliances, tools, and toys knows dangerous items are currently on store shelves in every state.
I'm not allowed to say. I couldn't say that if I wanted to, and I'm not saying that specifically.
You can't tell us right now in this interview.
I couldn't tell my wife.
I can't get into the specifics.
The gag rule is what's blocking that from happening. That's a simple question.
That case, but what I can
and I
tell
wish
you
I
is
could
I
answer
can't say
it.
anything outside the four corners of what we put in that document.
And what would happen if you did say something?
I'm not going to violate the law, so I don't want to find out the answer to that question.
But a federal law forced this commissioner to decline answering many of our questions about potentially dangerous baby products.
There are products out there right now that I think I would love to tell the public about the harms that they present, and the gag rule prevents me from doing that.
Richard Trumka sits on the Consumer Product Safety Commission, or CPSC, which is responsible for regulating thousands of household products. If Trumka made the laws, he would have screamed loud warnings when we interviewed him near the nation's capital.
Can you at least give us a ballpark or frame?
You want to talk about this agency or me personally? I mean, this agency is aware of, I don't know how many hundreds of products that the public should know about right now that we can't say anything about because of the gag rule.
So right now there are hundreds of products on the market that are potentially dangerous that you can't let the consumers know about?
I think that's a safe guess, yeah.
Scary guess.
It should be terrifying to all of us, absolutely. That's why we need to repeal the gag rule.
When a company learns that a product it sells could be defective or dangerous, it's required by law to notify the CPSC within 24 hours by filing a substantial product hazard report. But most of the information in those reports to the Commission remains confidential, secret to the public.
I think it's the most frustrating part of the job sitting here at the Consumer Product Safety Commission. We would love to be able to tell. Anytime we know about something like that, we'd love to be able to tell the public, because you need to give people the opportunity to protect themselves. That should be our central function, telling the public when there's a risk out there so that they can avoid it.
This spring, we requested copies of the hazard report submitted from 51 previously recalled products that include pacifiers, cooktops, crossbows, and ceiling fans. For half, the CPSC denied our request, refusing to hand them over, claiming releasing the records would harm an ongoing investigation. So far, we've only received 18 of them. The CPSC provided those reports only after the companies that made the recalled products had a chance to review and withhold information they didn't want public. Look at the reports the companies allowed the CPSC to release. Most pages completely white, all nearly useless. Information about the defective products completely redacted. Those include products like IKEA dressers, McDonald's playground climbers, a go-kart stroller, and baby food steamer. All products recalled because of the possibility of injury or death.
I think this blank page ought to be full of the information that the public needs and deserves to protect itself. Remember, this kind of capitalism works only if the public gets the information they need to make intelligent decisions. I'm not in favor of over-regulation. I'm in favor of simple truth-telling, which can save lives, and the public needs and deserves it so they can make intelligent choices.
We took our records to Connecticut Senator Richard Blumenthal, who is calling for changes, pushing a new law that would lift the veil of secrecy when a company tells the government it might have a problem.
You know, I'm just aghast at this kind of censorship. When you look at this heading, identification and description of the product, something so simple and elemental as a description of the product, deleted, redacted, censored, that's outrageous. I don't know how in a free society we can call this kind of redaction tolerable. And so my reaction is this blank page tells you all you need to know about why the law needs to be changed.
To illustrate the true impacts of this censorship, meet Erica Richter.
It is every mother's worst nightmare when you see your baby blue and unresponsive.
Her daughter Emma, a perfectly healthy 2-week-old, died in a Fisher-Price rock and play.
This is my world. This is my life. I made her. This is my daughter. And Fisher-Price stole her from me. They robbed me of a life with my daughter.
Congressional records show in February of 2018, Fisher-Price notified the CPSC that 15 babies had died in the rock and play, submitting a substantial product hazard report.
They knew that their product was killing infants every year. Every year they would get reports. I mean, you have to ask yourself, do they have an acceptable quota of deaths? Is there a magic number?
The answer is no. The hazard reporting requirements are vague and don't specifically define what triggers notification. 6 months after the company filed with the CPSC with that report hidden from the public, Erica Richter saw her daughter alive for the last time.
This is just my story of my government failing my daughter and failing the innocent lives of infants. Our own Federal Consumer Product Safety Commission could not warn the public. Had they been able to do that, I would still have my daughter.
More than a year after submitting that hazard report and 6 months after Emma Richter died, the CPSC finally announced a recall, reporting about 30 deaths tied to the product. It was only then that Erica Richter found out how her daughter likely died. The incline of the rock and play made it unsafe for sleep because it could lead to asphyxiation.
How many children have died totally in this toy or whatever? How many total died?
Today, we are aware of approximately, I believe it is the number is currently 97.
Last year, Fisher-Price reported to Congress that it had then tallied 97 deaths tied to the rock and play. And even today, the hazard report is still being concealed, locked behind laws that Erica Richter says are failing to protect Americans, especially the most vulnerable.
I mean, anybody watching this should be very concerned. Very concerned. You don't want to know what's behind the vault of what they know is killing people, right? Literally killing people that they can't tell us about. You scratch your head and you like, that's unbelievable. Surely my government wouldn't allow products to be sold that are killing people, that are known to be unsafe. Surely somebody's watching.